Shabbat Shalom, friends. It's wonderful to gather together in our Molish sanctuary, and it's wonderful for those of you who are chiming in via various online formats. Welcome to you as well. We're glad that all of us are here together this Shabbat. We're going to begin our service with some singing. Song has a magical power, kind of, to help us move from regular time and regular ways of being in the world into holy time and holy space. And Cantor Zark is going to lead us.
That's right. So you all have this the song sheets, and it's July 4th. So Shabbat service is going to be enhanced with some nice, traditional, beautiful American tunes. But we're going to begin with the song, Let the Heavens Be Glad. And why I chose to begin with this, because it has the famous words of proclaim liberty throughout the land to all the inhabitants. So it's very appropriate for Independence Day. And so here we go. So you people on live stream and people inside the synagogue, you all have the words. So please join with me. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for people live in peace. Behold how good it is, people live in peace. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Proclaim liberty throughout the land to all the inhabitants. Proclaim liberty, proclaim liberty. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Let the heavens be glad, let the heavens be glad. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar, let people unite. Let people unite, let people unite. And the same words, you have the Yismechu Hashemayim, yes? And that's a beautiful tune by Craig Taubman. And please join with me here. Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagelech haaretz yiram hayam u'melo'o. Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagelech haaretz yiram hayam u'melo'o. Yamamamamamai, yamamamamamai, yamamamamamamai, yamamamamamai, yamamamamamai, yamamamamamai. Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagelech haaretz yiram hayam u'melo'o. Yismechu Hashemayim ותגל הארץ ירם חיים ומלוא יממה יממי יממה יממה
We continue with the welcoming of Shabbat, with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and it's my pleasure to call forward Karen Meal to light Shabbat candles for us. She's going to do a reading on page 3, followed by page 2. If you're able, I invite you to rise.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'echad l'ekner, Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
You can be seated if you'd like. We continue with L'chad Odi on page 20.
L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat le'kabela. L'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat le'kabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha yishmi'anu el kam yochad Adonai echad ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולהתחילה לאחד דודי לי לקראת קלה בני שבת תקבלה לאחד דודי לי לקראת קלה בני שבת תקבלה לקראת שבת ובנך כי מקור הברכה ראש מקדם דסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לאחד דודי לי לקראת קלה בני שבת תקבלה לאחד דודי לי לקראת קלה בני שבת תקבלה Hitorari, kivarach, komivari, uri, shir daberi kavod Adonai, alayik nigla, lekadodi li ikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat tekabela, lekadodi li ikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat tekabela. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוקם בוני עם סגולה בואי חלה יאללה לחדותי יאללה לקראת כלה יאללה פני שבת נקבלה יאללה לחדותי יאללה לחקרלה יאללה פני שבת
You may be seated. We continue on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malchei Malachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדל ויתקדש מרבה בעלמת יברקרותי וימליך מלכותי ויחון וכון חיד כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני, המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, לעולם ועד, לעולם, 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 לעולם ועד.
Together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom mevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Together on the top of page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Shem Kavod Malachoto Leolam Leolam Va'ed Leolam Leolam Va'ed V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We read responsively on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
So do you know how every time that there is a holiday coming in the Jewish, calendar, we introduce it with a special melody. So I thought, why not to introduce this beautiful 3-day, mind you, the government workers even have 4-day weekend. They were closed today. So with the something that comes from the our American heritage, and so to announce the beautiful weekend, Independence Day weekend, I thought that we're going to sing "This Land Is Your Land," and we're going to do the first and the second verses in English, and you have the words. Then we're going to switch to Michamocha, and then conclude with the last word. It works beautifully. Michamocha is the text and the prayer that you can fit every little prayer and song into it. So it goes like this. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from Redwood Forest to Calcium Waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking the Riverton Highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This day we've done for you and me. Mi'ikamocha ve'limadonai, mi'ikamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tekilot osei felech, tekila osei felech, malchutecha ra'u banecha bokei hayam, לפני משה ומרים ואלי, אנוכי אמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Last word. Nobody's leaving can ever stop me as I was walking that freedom highway. Nobody's leaving can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. ונאמר כי פדדנו את יעקב וגאלנו מיד ממנו ברוך אתה Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the red nose to the Dundas Fiades. This land was made for you and me. You can fit anything in Behemoth. Okay, and now the Hashkivenu, a beautiful song by Noah Aronson. Hold on, I'm a little. Okay, Hashkivenu. Okay.
We're on page 42.
That's right. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'chamitenu, Shomreinu lechayim. Ofras aleinu, Sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. The Shambhu. So this is a tune that was written by Marshall Portnoy, and I don't know, somehow when the summer comes, I love to sing this. It's just so beautiful. It goes like this, and you know it. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אתחיל העולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו
rise for the Amidah, page 46.
Adonai sefatay tiftach, u'afi yagit elatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Cha'el kagdol kagibor v'chanora, El Elyon, Gomel chasadim tovim, Ve'konei hakol, Ve'zocher chasdei avot v'yimachot, U'mevii geola levnei v'nechem, Leman shemo b'achava, Malach ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayecha kol atara v'lechoshia, Mari et hatai, Mechalkei chayim b'chesed, Mechayecha kol b'rachamim rabim, Samech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asorim, U'mekayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Mechamocha ba'al givorot, U'medam Eloh, Melech memit u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman natalech hayot kakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shemcha kadosh, U'kadashim b'chol yom yachalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue silently through page 63, or with the prayers written on the pages of your heart. And when your private prayer is complete, we invite you to be seated, and we'll join back together in a few moments in song.
So when I was researching and trying to figure out the music for this Shabbat service, so I listened to some of the patriotic American, songs. And when I heard, Home on the Range, and you have the words, it's, this simple but very peaceful, beautiful melody just reminded me of Oseh Shalom. So I thought, let's see if we can sing it with our prayer of peace, Oseh Shalom. And it works beautifully. So we're going to do one verse in English, and then we'll try to put it to Oseh Shalom. It's lower. Okay. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy. Oseh Shalom, Shalom b'mroma, Oseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel v'imru Amen. Let's try it one more time. Oseh Shalom, Shalom b'mroma, Oseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel v'imru. Amen. Home on the range, where deer and the antelope play, seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are cloudy all day.
Indeed, a land of peace. We continue in our service with the Mishaberach, the prayer for those who are ill in our community, in our lives, in our world. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. Barry Abrams, Cynthia Baylor, Nathan Daniel Boyd, Sandy Chernow, Andy Dorfman, Marilyn Eisner, Sheila Evans, Benjamin Ben Kochava v'Ephraim, Lou Geddes, Stuart Geddes, Brian Geiger, Paul Issakoff, Bernie Crick, Rizel Shira bat Esther Malka Chai, David Lieberman, Spencer Leibowitz, Rosanna Moses, Gershona Binyamina bat Sarah Valevi, Stan Oliver, Harvey Ostroff, Joan Ostroff, Vakiet Partielli, Sharon Paul, Kelly Quagliati, Revitzer David Rachmiel ben Sarah Valevi, Yehudit Bracha bat Yechida Ruchel Baruch Reuven, Steve and Helen Rajewski, Samuel Schloss, Linda Skussel, Samara Steinberg, Molly Tinkelman, Beverly Tisdale, Jack Velkoff, Judy Weiss, Barbara Zipperman, Cecile Zlotnick, Bruce Zucker. I invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're praying for healing tonight. With hope for healing in our hearts, we join together in the singing of Misha Berach, page 253.
Misha Berach, Avotenu, Bekorach HaBeracha, Leimotenu, may the source of strength, oh, bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu, Bekorach HaBeracha, bless those in need of healing with Rapha Shaleva, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
May the Holy One of Blessing bring us wholeness, bring us shalom, soon in our day, as together we say, Amen. This week in the Torah, we read of the rebellion of Korach, of Datan and Abiram, and of 250 leaders of the community of Israel. I don't know if all of you know this, but I am the mother of at least one teenager, more than one. So I get to, once in a while, as rabbi, have the prerogative to embarrass my teenagers from the pulpit. It's sort of a requirement. It's a life cycle event. Anyway, tonight is the 1-year anniversary of my daughter Ruth becoming a bat mitzvah. So this is her parsha. In order to prepare her Devar Torah, she worked with my father for months studying this portion. One of the challenges for me and my family as my daughter studied to become bat mitzvah was that we wanted her to know the Torah deeply. But this is one of those times when the Torah feels particularly challenging. Korach and the other rebels seem to promote a cause and offer an objection that, seemingly, we hope our own children would champion. The text reads, "You have gone too far," they said to Moses and Aaron. "All of the community is holy, every one of them, and Adonai is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above Adonai's people?" We want our children to learn to challenge and question ensconced structures of authority. We don't want them to be afraid to speak to those in power bluntly and frankly about the injustices they see or the accountability they deserve from leadership. The ability to seek proof against corruption and to think and engage critically is valued by our community, especially our Jewish community. And it was a key driver of the founders of the United States, whose independence we celebrate this weekend. Closing your mouth and offering obeisance for its own sake is anathema to the American spirit, at least in its ideal form. Not only that, but central to rabbinic tradition, of which we are heirs, is the value of argument. There is, of course, the one about 2 Jews and 3 opinions, but my favorite is the one about the Jew on a desert island for many years. She is rescued and offers her rescuers a tour of the island. She showed them the hut where she lived. She showed them the structure where she went to shul. But the rescuers noticed an additional structure. "And what is that hut over there?" they asked. "Oh, that," she replied, "that's the shul I'd never set foot in." So how do we talk about Korach and his band without giving our children the contrary message of blind conformity? Mishnah Avot reads, "Any dispute for the sake of heaven will have enduring value, but every dispute not for the sake of heaven will not have enduring value." What is an example of a dispute for the sake of heaven? Those of you who've studied Pirkei Avot with Rabbi Lieb might know the answer to this. The dispute between Hillel and Shammai. What is an example of one not for the sake of heaven? The dispute of Korach and all his company. It is not the case that we should avoid argument. Indeed, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Livracha, taught that argument is the lifeblood of Judaism, so long as it is rightly motivated and essentially constructive in its aims. So what is it that differentiates Hillel and Shammai's argument from that of Korach's group? Rabbeinu Yonah from medieval Spain offers an insight into this question. He teaches that an argument for the sake of heaven is an argument about truth. An argument not for the sake of heaven is about power. Rabbi Sachs expounds on this idea. In an argument for truth, both sides win. I either win the argument, or I am elucidated by expanding my understanding of what is true in the world. I learn something. In an argument for power, if I lose, I lose. In the swallowing of his opponents by the earth, Moses wins the argument. But even he is diminished by the victory. The people turn to him and complain that he is killing God's people. This is what happens when power is at stake instead of truth. So where does this insight leave us in this age of truthiness and political corruption? Indeed, it is difficult to read this parsha without thinking of other, more recent rebellions in which power was at stake. It is hard to see how we, all of us, are anything but diminished by such struggles for power. Earlier this week, a fellow Jewish educator, Sherry Sabbath, shared with me an additional teaching about Hillel and Shammai. She pointed out that Hillel and Shammai argued, but a key to the character and the value of their arguing was the fact that when the matter was finally decided, they broke bread in each other's homes. Do we want to be right in order to control others? Or do we want to get closer to being the kind of community where we can break bread across a table of difference, having learned something new about the diversity of the human experience? I hope we can find a way to build a society around the latter goal. The truth edifies us all. Shabbat Shalom. Not only are we celebrating Shabbat and the 4th of July, but Paula reminded me, not that I totally forgot, but she definitely reminded me that this is birthday Shabbat. It's the first Shabbat of the month. And it's my pleasure to call forward anyone in our community gathered with us tonight who has a July birthday to come to the pulpit and receive a blessing. And if you're at home and you have a July birthday, you can spiritually join us on the bima and accept this blessing as well. Whichever way you want, July babies. So please, not everybody knows everyone. So if you could share your name and tell us when your birthday is and, an age that you'd like us to know about, whether it's the accurate age or...
Hi, I'm Paula Yogev. My birthday is July 22nd, 1952. That makes me 70. Coming up July 22nd. Big 7-0.
Louis Miller. My birthday is July 14th. Baruch Hashem, I'll make it to 83.
Whoa. Toby Shupak, and my birthday is July 23rd, and I'll be quadruple high, so I'll leave you to do the math.
That's right. So, and I am on July 18th, so I started at Betham. I was 25 years old. 38 years
You're
later.
not still 25 years old?
38 years later, I'm still here. So you think.
You're still 25, and you did the math.
Well, to all of you, we are blessed to have your presence here on this auspicious month for you, here on our Bima. We hope that you have not only a month and a celebration of blessing, but a whole year of blessing, not just good, positive things, but opportunities to learn, to grow, to gain insight about the world around you, and to gain more opportunities to help heal that world of which you have been a part for so many years, and God willing will be for so many more. Let's join together in the singing of Happy Birthday.
Yom Koledet Sameach, Yom Koledet Sameach, Yom Koledet Sameach, Yom Koledet Sameach, and many, many more.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you all to stay up here, as you know, because we're going to continue our service with Aleinu on page 282. And if our birthday folks could help us open the ark, I invite the congregation to rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון ככל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל חמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שכונות השמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים במעל, ושכינתו זו ככוכבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו אפזו לתו, גם כתוב בתורתו, וידעת כיום בחשיבותה אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You will.
If you pay attention to what's happening in the world, you might not be surprised that any given week, I feel like it's a duty as I prepare to stand on the pulpit to think about whether or not, in addition to the people nearest and dearest to us in our community, there's other suffering and other death that we must acknowledge. And I wish I could say it happens only once in a while, And I wish I could say that it happens only in certain places. That wouldn't be great, but it would be something. But unfortunately, it feels like every week I have my pick. Because I can't talk about all of it. But tonight I want to share with you the words of Archbishop of San Antonio, Gabriel Garcia Siller. These are just quotes I found in news articles. Maybe you read some of them. That trailer was abandoned. The bottom line is that immigrants were abandoned. People, he said, the emotion breaking his soft voice. This is the experience of many immigrants coming to the States. Even if they cross, they experience loneliness, the abandonment, being abandoned. And in another moment, he said, we are responsible. I am responsible. As a citizen of those injustices, he said, we don't have the leadership to change. Gradually, it could be, but they need to be changes that would be meaningful. In addition to thinking of those lost in San Antonio, we think of our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Here in the Beth Am community, we think especially of those whose families are in the Shloshim period, the first 30 days of mourning. Samuel Bazilian, Arlene Ellen Satz. And we link their names to the names of those whose yahrzeits occur this week. Joseph Abrams, Stuart Agins, Joseph Baum, Pearl Beck, David Botwinick, Jerome Brill, Elsie Comida, Phoebe Cooperman, Rose Davis, Ann Devens, Benjamin Dovberg, Bernard Dunn, Harold Elfand, Hilda Ellis, Stanley Essel, Arlene J. Feingold, Milton Ford, Fanny Friedman, Solace Gilbert, Shirley Goodman, Stanley Grayboys, Betty Greenberg, Edward Haas, Rose Harris, Lucille Harrison, Lena Hedelson, Mark C. Jacob, Philip Katz, Roy Kirsch, Dorothy Kranzel, Rose Kurlander, Anne Levy Coleman, Reba Lyon, Louis Marion, Abraham Metlitz, George Miller, Clara Molish, Sylvia Nierenberg, Mary Aller, Joseph Orkin, Ethel Porter, Bernard Pullman, Daniel Race, Benjamin Ritter, Myra Rothenberg, Linda Solomon Rush, Henry B. Sachs, Samuel G. Sack, Herman Samons, Molly Kaminsky Sandero, Stella Shermer, Sylvia Schwartz, Maurice Siegel, Lillian Seiden, Samuel Silikovitz, Hildy Snyder, Betty Sobel, Natalie Sonberg, Jacob Spiegel, Eric Tornberg, Rochelle Weber, Sheldon Wiener, Martin B. Weintraub, Alan Weiser, Thelma Welsh, Stephen Mark Winkler, Raphael Yogev. I invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're saying Kaddish tonight. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be a blessing. We rise as one congregation and join together in the words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabbah, Bialma Divrach Hirute V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon Uvyomechon Uv'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Ula'almei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudisha B'richu, La'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and indeed to all the world, as together we say, Amen. You may be seated. It's my pleasure to call forward the president of our congregation, Josh Posnan, to offer some greetings and like a short bit of announcements, I hear. Or are they long now? Some announcements about stuff coming up that you should know about. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you. Very short announcements. Well, shortish. So here's what's going on at Beth Am right now. Tomorrow morning, Torah study, 9 a.m., followed by the peer-led service at 10. Don't forget to submit your entries to the Book of Remembrance. The deadline's July 18th, and the submissions can all be done via ShulCloud or by calling the office. Sisterhood Mahjong continues on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. There's also a new beginner class starting this month, so if you'd like to learn how to play, make sure you sign up in advance. Rabbi Tornberg is leading a family Israel trip late next year, and preliminary planning has begun. If you and your family are interested in joining the trip, please get in touch with her for more information. Tuesday, July 5th is Jewish Heritage Night at Citizens Bank Park, and the Phillies are playing the Washington Nationals at 7 p.m. Hadassah has some limited tickets at $40 a piece. If you're interested, you can email Randy Freeman at rfreeman@hadassah.org.
When is it?
Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And anytime you come to the building, make sure you bring some non-perishable food items to support Social Action's ongoing collection for the Jenkintown Food Cupboard. The bins are at the back door as always. And that's all the news. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Josh. We're going to conclude our service in a moment. Cantor Zark will have, if anything she's done so far tonight is any indication, it's going to be a great song because it's been beautiful. Thank you. We are going to continue celebrating Shabbat together in our outdoor garden. This way, you want to go kind of through that door, and we'll have Kiddush and Motzi and a chance to greet one another. Shabbat Shalom.
So on page 377, you're going to find the words "To America the Beautiful." And in honor of this weekend, we'll conclude with this beautiful song. So it's a long song, so we'll do the first and the last verses. Yes. So it, I think, goes like this. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams, the seas beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam and dim for human tears. America, America, that shed his rain grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from a sea to shining sea.
Shabbat Shalom and happy 4th of July.
Shabbat Shalom.